Data labeling is the process of categorizing, annotating, or tagging datasets to create meaningful segmentation that can be used for analysis. This can involve adding labels, descriptions, or annotations to images, videos, text, or any other type of data to provide context or clarity to that data. Although in Microsoft Excel, we mostly work with text data. The goal of data labeling is to create high quality, accurate, and consistent data that can be easily manipulated and aggregated to provide actionable insights. Let's take this data below, for example. The data shows keywords or search terms that people enter into Google. The monthly search volume on the right represents how many times someone searches for this term on Google per month. Side note, digital marketers use this as a way to measure demand. Okay, let's say we wanted to understand how much search volume there is for Facebook Marketplace versus how much search volume there is for Craigslist to understand which platform is more popular. This would involve aggregating or adding up all of the search volume for Craigslist and comparing it to the aggregated search volume for Facebook. Okay, to aggregate the data, we would have to tag it with either Facebook or Craigslist because if you look at the keywords, Facebook and Craigslist are actually spelled in a couple different ways. Facebook is spelled Facebook, FB, and face space book, and Craigslist is spelled Craigslist and Craigs space list. Traditional methods in Excel, like filtering and sorting, wouldn't catch all of these exceptions. If we're working with a dataset this small, it would be fastest to just manually label it, right? However, what if the list is hundreds or even thousands of lines long? This is why I wanted to teach y'all this approach that I use when I'm tasked with labeling a large set of data in Microsoft Excel. What I do is I create a key, or some might call it a dictionary, that contains a mapping between terms and the label that I want to give it. So if we look over here on the right, this is my key or my dictionary. What I created was a list of search terms or things that I look for inside of the keywords. And the goal is to search for these terms, the search terms, inside of these keywords. And using that lookup function, return the correct brand to each row of this data here on the left. Okay, how exactly would we do this? Let's go ahead and flip over to our spreadsheet for this section where we can practice this. Here on the left, we have a much larger table of keywords, and over here on the right is the exact same key that I showed you on the slides. What we want to do is we want to search for these terms inside of these keywords and then return the brand. Okay, we're going to do this using the index, match, isNumber, and search functions, 4 different Excel functions to search for the keywords. If you need an in-depth explanation on how to do this, please refer back to the index match lecture contained in the earlier section about basic Excel functions, or if you're watching on YouTube, please follow the link in the lecture notes. That lecture will give you an in-depth look on how these functions can be used. Okay, let's give it a go. Type equals index, and what exactly do we want to return? Well, we want to return the brands in this column, so I'm going to choose that and use F4 to lock my reference. Hit comma, and now we write our match function. And when we open our parentheses, remember when we're searching for keywords, we don't have a lookup value. We just type the Boolean true. Hit comma, and then write the 2 functions isNumber and search. And what exactly am I searching for? I'm searching for these terms, locking this with F4, inside of this keyword. Close both of the parentheses and specify my match type, which I'll put as 0 for an exact match, and then close my last 2 parentheses. When I hit enter, we see that this row of data has been properly labeled as Craigslist. So let's go ahead and use the fill handle to move this formula downwards. And now, looking down our data, we see that most of the rows of data have been properly labeled with the correct brand. However, there's one exception, which is here in row 9. It appears that we did not consider the search term over here, FaceB. So in order to add a new search term to our list, all we have to do is add a row here using Control-Shift+, choosing Shift cells down, and then writing our new search term, which is FaceB, and we want this to be labeled as Facebook. Hit enter, and now we see that Facebook has been properly populated using our new search term. As you can see, this approach to using a key allows you to dynamically clean your data using a broad strokes method to quickly give your data labels. However, I want to emphasize that this is not a replacement for human intervention and supervision. Make sure you are still checking how your key is working before publishing your data or using it to make any business decisions.